100 mugs feels like a lot. But then again, if you think of the time perspective, it's been more than 30 years. We were supposed to draw something in school that we could decide what we wanted to draw. Then I always drew the Moomin trolls. It was my favorite motif. And I also drew the Moomin trolls outside in the sand and in the snow, and in a kind I was obsessed by the Moomin trolls as a child. When I start thinking about new motifs, I always browse through all the Moomin books and especially the comic books, because there are a lot of motifs in the comic books. And that's the starting point. Since most of the drawings I use are in black and white, I need to choose the colors for the mugs, but I do it very intuitively. It's not like I would look at some trend maps and deciding that, well, I need to put pink on this mug because that will be the trendy color after 2 years. Also because these are made 2 years ahead, so you don't really exactly know what trends there will be after 2 years. And also, I don't like trend thinking. So it's a very intuitively way to choose the colors. But also the ceramic spectrum is very narrow, since I use solid colors. So there's a maximum of 7-8 colors maybe, and the black outline. There are some rules that Moomin Characters has set out. Maybe Tove Jansson already, I think, wanted that you don't cut Moomin trolls in half. You don't show them just from the waist up. And you don't leave out tails or fingers. They have to show completely. And also she didn't like that they had shadows. I think I once tried to make shadows on the Hattifatteners, and she commented that that was not okay. Also, when picking motifs and images for the Moomin mugs, we're only allowed, or I'm only allowed to use original artwork by Tove Jansson. She had different styles, and also the style changed a bit during the years. But the comic strips are different than the illustrations in the novels. But even a single square in a comic strip is sometimes like an artwork, a piece of art, because the balance is so good, and also the lines are so well drawn, and sometimes I just stare at one small picture and I can't believe that, that it's just a small square in a comic strip. It should be something larger. And also all the images in the novels, or almost all the images, are very detailed, and a lot of small lines, and she makes all the shadows with small lines, and they're just gorgeous. This snow blizzard mug has been one of the most challenging mugs to do technically, because I redraw all the pictures to fit the mug shape. So you can't just take a picture from a book and kind of glue it on to the mug. So you have to redraw it, and this was especially difficult to get to fit on this mug because of the shape of the mug, and also to get the connection between the mirror turned image. And there was a lot of handwork because I draw all these little lines by hand. original is of course Tove Jansson's, and it was black and white, but here it's blue and white. We visited Tove Jansson in her apartment that she shared with Tuulikki Pietilä. We had brought with us the whole first collection for her to look at. I was there with the product manager at the time, Titte Vennäberg, who was the one who came up with the idea in the first hand to make Moomin products at Arabia. And she had been there several times, but this was the first time for me, and they showed us, or me, the whole apartment. When we were leaving, Tove Jansson asked me for my telephone number, and I said that it's really the product manager, it's really Titte who has all the threads in her hands. And then Tove said, but we would like to have your threads as well. So I gave her my phone number. She never called. I was very nervous before, because I've been a fan of Tove Jansson and Moomins since I was a child, and to show her these products. But she was, I mean, she was not critical at all. She was so nice and relaxed, really, really kind. I think the most fun mug to do was this Miserable mug, because I have liked Miserable always, and I feel that she is one of the main characters, but I don't think maybe everyone thinks in the same way. But I know that she was special for Tove Jansson too, because in a lot of old images that Tove Jansson has made, where she has gathered different characters from the Moomin Valley, Miserable is always together with the other ones. And she has a lovely dog also. She is so adorable. This was a garage when we moved in, but then my husband rebuilt it to a play studio, a pottery shop. This is my kiln where I can fire the pottery. And then I of course have my throwing wheel here in this corner of the shop. Here's a mug that I made last year that I have refired because the glaze started to boil. And then I make a lot of test pieces when I test glazes, different glazes, and how they react with each other. I made a bowl in red clay, terracotta, which I liked, but unfortunately it cracked in the bottom, so you cannot use it for food. Maybe I could use it as a pot for plants. Small things like Moomin mugs can make people very happy. And you don't always have to go out and change the world like this, but you can draw a nice image on a mug, and people who maybe live in very difficult situations, they get their joy from picking out a Moomin mug and drink their coffee from that. I feel kind of tired of the Moomin Trolls at the moment, because it has been so intense, especially the last 15-20 years have been very intense with Moomin work. And I feel that I have only had time to browse through the stories and the novels. And then when I'm retiring, I would like to really read the books again from cover to cover, and not only look at some pages and looking for suitable pictures. So I think I'm going to need a small break from the Moomin Valley when I retire, but then I hope that I will get back to the books after that.